This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Let's see. Manny is the fourth straight coach who ends with a losing record. Last 15 years, the talent pool of Florida does not trust UN program. Also, we were better off keeping Larry Coker. He won. Larry was not better because Larry's got worse. That's Sharif, that's not a good statement. Let me explain why. When you watch what Dennis Erickson took over a loaded team from Jimmy Johnson. Okay? Jimmy had won the title. And Dennis went on to win 2 titles in the first 3 years with Jimmy's players. But once that 4th year rolled around, that pretty much it was all his players. And so on and so forth. You saw the bowl performances. They became more and more embarrassing. Because Dennis's players took over. His culture took over. And Dennis Erickson is an exceptional X's and O's coach. Dennis Erickson is not a custodian of a program. He is not a guy that's going to maintain a certain level of discipline. And number 2, he is not the recruiter that Jimmy Johnson is. That's why he has never won another national title or even competed for another national title in any other school he went to because he can't maintain it. Larry Coker inherited a loaded team from Butch Davis. And Larry almost won 2 titles with Butch Davis's players. Got screwed on that second one. But notice, after Butch's players were gone and Larry's players took over, the program went downhill. The bowl games became more embarrassing. That second time, the LSU 40-9 or 40-6 or whatever the hell it was. I mean, stuff like that.
We've never recovered ever since that game, man.
Right.
We've never been the same.
But because you've never gotten the coach, custodian, and recruiter. You need 3 magical things to be a great coach in college football. You got to coach and develop. You got to recruit. And you got to be a custodian of the program and maintain it. The discipline, the culture, all of that. And if you don't have those 3, Randy Shannon, Larry Coker, all these kind of guys, even Dennis Erickson. And these are 2 guys that won titles. But they won titles because you gave them teams.
And they didn't feed back to the program.
Yeah, they were ready, but you couldn't maintain. So don't ever say that Larry Coker or Dennis Erickson, just because they won. Remember what we just talked about with Clyde Drexler and Michael Jordan a couple days ago? I told you look at the stats, and a lot of them were even. And then you watch The Last Dance, and Jordan, like, that dude's not in my level. And he tells Magic in dinner the night before, I'm going to give it to this dude. That's because any of us that watched the NBA and young writers now and young fans, they might go back and look at the stats and say, well, Drexler was just as good as Jordan. Look at the stats. No, dude. Stats don't tell you everything. Stats don't tell you everything about Coker and Dennis Erickson. Yeah, they won titles. That doesn't make them the kind of championship coaches that you think they might be. Okay? They can't do what Coach O just did at LSU. Because Coach O didn't inherit a championship team, but he went and made one. They can't do that. They can't do what Dabo Swinney does in Clemson. They can't do, or nobody can do what Nick Saban's done. But my point is those kind of coaches that can recruit at a high level and coach at a high level and maintain that high level, those guys are special. Coker and Dennis Erickson were never those guys. Okay? Coker and Dennis Erickson is Brad Johnson, is Trent Dilfer. Okay? They landed on a good team that carried them to a title. And all they needed was, hey, dude, make a couple of plays for us. We know you're not special. Ryan Tannehill last year, dude, we know you're not special. Just make a couple of throws for us. That guy, Derrick Henry, he's special. Offensive line, special. Defense, special. U17, not special. Just make a couple plays, dude. We'll be fine. Don't get in our way. That's what it is. Okay? So Coker and Barry Switzer, Coker, Dennis Erickson, they didn't get in the way enough that they were able to win. But then once their players took over, they had no shot. Okay? That's what really went on. So never, ever tell me that Dennis Erickson and Larry Coker are championship caliber coaches. Those guys fell in the right situations.